I'm Makayla Furrey, and welcome to Getting to Know the Saints from Harrisburg, North Carolina. My guest wears number 20. He's one of your linebackers, Charlie Blazi. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, how did you really get into football?
So I got into football growing up. I played flag football most of my life. My dad, he played it, and he was kind of like this back in his hometown. Small town from Georgia. Was a really great football player, and so like he was always like this hometown hero kind of guy. And so I just fell in love with football just from watching him. And I can remember like one night we were sitting in a living room, and he had like VHS tapes. I don't know, not many people use those anymore, but it had his film on it, his high school film, and we just watched his high school games. I remember sitting there and like falling in love with tackle football that day. And so ever since then, I wasn't allowed to play tackle until I was in sixth grade.
Mhm.
But when I started playing, I just fell in love with it, fell in love with the game. And it was that's kind of how my love started for it.
And then did that love carry on to wanting to play in college, or like how did you decide that you wanted to play in college?
Yeah, I mean, I think I always had a dream to play in college. My dream growing up was, of course, was always to play for the Georgia Bulldogs. That was just, you grew up in Georgia. That's kind of like your goal. And then I realized that might not be as much realistic as I thought it would be, but that was still always my goal. And then, I just always wanted to play at the next level. It started when I got in high school, and started playing in high school. I was just like, I just want to play at the next level. I want to go to college and play football. And, that's kind of where it started. I always had that desire. It wasn't really ever a moment where I was like, I don't really want to play anymore. Because I don't get to play this game very long. It's like the best game ever. So I wanted to play as long as I could.
So you said you were a Georgia Bulldogs fan. So what made you choose Limestone?
Oh, I think just like the family aspects of Limestone. Like I loved it. I loved how the coaches like cared for you, and it was a completely different coach staff that recruited me now. And like looking back, I'm like super thankful because I didn't know what I was going to get into now. Like I even have more of a family aspect than I could have ever imagined wanted. So I really am glad I chose Limestone. But that was kind of like the first thing that stuck out to me was just how much family oriented and, like how small it was. I love Gaffney being smaller and kind of close. And so that it was a perfect fit for me. And now it's even better than I could ever imagine.
So how was that transition going from like a coaching staff that recruited you to a completely different one?
Yeah. So I kind of had a similar experience in high school. So I was kind of familiar with it. But this was like completely different because it was like college. And, everybody tells you like college is business. So like I was like thinking all these things like I'm going to come in and this new staff's going to come in and just like kick me to the curb and like get out of here, bring in our own guys. And, when Coach Furrey, came in, it was completely different than I could have ever imagined. Like he took me in and, really cared about me and wanted me to develop as a player and gave me more confidence than I've ever had as a player because I feel like he believed in me and had no doubt of that. Cause like I always had doubts like, okay, does this coach actually like me? And like I never had a doubt of that with Coach Furrey. And so I think that it made me a better player than I could ever have been, and it was great. And I loved everything about it. And that was just kind of like a moment where I was like, all right, I got to trust the Lord and see where He takes me in this, and it ended up working out really good for me. So.
And I know that you and Coach Maynard have a bond probably unlike anyone else. So tell us a little bit about you guys' friendship.
Oh man, our friendship's great. We always like bicker and make fun of each other, but I love that guy. He's always been great, and he's just really just like such a great player of the game and understands the game at a fundamental level, and just like just play football and have fun. Like I'm not the smartest X and O guy. Like I'll sit there and tell you like I don't know every single different little thing. I'm working that way, but I just never was that player. And I think me and Hunter kind of connected just because of our, his goofy personality, and like we would just always hang out, and just the way he like would tell me to play the game, and it just gave me this freeing ability to just go play football, have fun, go tackle the guy that's holding the ball.
Yeah.
And I think we just hit it off really well.
So last season, you guys were actually very successful. And I know this season probably has so much things ahead for it, but what are you looking forward to most?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have that goal of, we came back and like it's a new standard. That's what we talk about now, and the standard of we want to go win the national championship. And so I think we have a great team to be able to do that. And I think that's just our goal. We're getting better every day. Even in the off season now, we're still getting better. And like that's what I look forward to most because like really we didn't really know like we could be good last year. And then now like we know, like and I think we have that confidence like we're a good football team and we need to just show everybody it and not care about what other people think. And so I think we have a really good shot at winning the thing. So I'm very, very excited and looking forward to that. If we handle our business, I would like to see what we can do.
So now we've entered the part where I'm just going to ask you a couple hot seat questions. It's going to be 5 to 6, and I want you to answer off the top of your head. Some of them you probably will have to think on, but I mean, the less you can think, the better. So who on the team, if you could choose 3 people, would you want to start a boy band with?
Kilo. Kilo's my lead singer. I think I gotta go with Ford as well, just for the pure like just Ford. You never know what's gonna happen. And then Charles Couch. Charles Couch, I think it'd be great in a boy band.
And then what's your favorite video game?
I played Fortnite for a while, but I think my favorite is like Call of Duty now, I think.
And if you weren't a linebacker, what position would you play?
100% running back.
And then what's the last show you've been watched?
The last show I binge watched was a show called Lost.
Did you like it?
I loved it. It's a great show. You should watch it.
And then my last question for you for the day is one you're probably going to have to think on. If you could switch lives with any coach for a day, which coach would it be on the Limestone staff?
Part of me wants to say Coach Furrey.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to say Coach Furrey.
Coach Furrey, and why?
I don't know, just because, you can bench 405 and I can't, he's got the energy level through the roof all the time. So I'd like to have that. So there you go.
I mean, Charlie, that's all I have for you. So thank you so much for getting on this with me. And I mean, I wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate that.